The 950th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Heidi Ho DeGenerinos, welcome to episode 950 of the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. That's a lot of episodes. Let's dedicate this one to Christopher Romero, who on YouTube wonders if we're going to cover CFFC 148. I assume that's this weekend, in which case, no. Come on, 5 episodes a week. What do you people want from us?
Yeah. There is a good main event on that. That's Anthony Guerrasio going back to defend his heavyweight title against that dude who had that bloodbath fight with Stephen Asplund. What's his name?
Make me look it up. Stephen Asplund is the through line here.
Yeah. Larry Gonzalez. Yeah, him and Larry Gonzalez had like one of the best regional heavyweight fights I've ever seen. It was like bloody and nasty. And then him and Guerrasio did not have an entertaining. I mean, I guess it was entertaining if you were rooting for Stephen Asplund, but not a particularly entertaining Contender Series fight. But yeah, no, I would love to cover that one. If you have specific questions about specific fights and you want to hit me up for those, I have takes. I always have takes. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Throw them in there. There's also a whole bunch of other DGens in there that are willing to give you their takes on it too. So
there sure is.
Check them out.
Yeah, a lot of people in there are pretty smart. They know their stuff. It's not just Gumby in there. So that's Gumby Vreeland. I am Baby Goose, Jeff Fox, at least for this episode. Tentative nickname. We're already giving you 5 episodes a week. So we can't squish everything in, but like Gumby said, there's other means to get a hold of us. So today it's UFC. As a reminder, I'm not sure if we talked about it. I actually beat Gumby last week, which is a rarity.
There was one difference on fights, right?
Yeah. So I beat him by about $150, but he's still ahead by 1,100 on the year. So there's 5 events left. I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch up unless.
I mean, there are a lot of close lines on this card.
There are a lot of interesting lines on this card. I was going to say to you, there's a lot of lines. Whoa, okay, that's a good line. I like that line. So, or maybe I don't think I'm crazy because the topologists agree with a lot of my picks where I think
is that a good thing?
I don't know if it's good or bad. I think I'm going. Yeah, I think I'm going out on a limb, and then I see the majority are agreeing with it. So I don't know. Maybe the lines are just good this week. Who knows? So we'll assume all these fights are on the up and up. We have to assume that with every fight, right? Going forward, but we despite what's swirling around in the news.
I don't want to. I said it. I think I said it 2 episodes ago or 3 episodes ago or this morning. I don't remember anymore. But like, I just we're not going to know anything ever. If they catch somebody doing something super nefarious, you probably won't. I mean, like, what do you know what happened to James Krause?
No. Yeah, we haven't heard.
Does anybody know what's happened to James Krause? Right.
Or Jeff Molina.
Or Derek Minor. Jeff Molina is supposedly like cleared to fight again last I heard, or was close to it. Because his suspension was almost up and he was doing some announcing for, I want to say CFFC. And it hinted that he was looking to get back to fighting. Yeah. Seemed to think that the UFC was an avenue, which I don't think.
Especially not now.
They're going to distance themselves from that guy.
Yeah, you would think the UFC does have strange standards for who they hire and who they fire and who they have on as independent contractors. But
this is one I don't think is going to be.
You would hope not. Once the FBI is involved.
Yeah, and there's nothing. But here's the other thing. So I'm just going to throw this out here because I know everybody's like, I don't have a take on this. We have no info that. Well, and that's
speculation, and that's not fair.
Right. My take is that there should be no take because they released Isaac Dolgarian, obviously because he fought less than 100%, and he was 2-2 in his last 4 fights, which isn't particularly great anyway. So there's no reason for them to like sweat over that. And then on top of that, they announced that their independent company was looking into it, right, and had a problem with it. We've literally never seen any evidence that the FBI is looking at this. Now,
yeah, that's true.
There's good reasons.
Just guy on Twitter,
right? There's that one guy on Twitter, and like, I'm not trying to say that guy's wrong, But I'm saying 99% of the info out there that people are trusting right now is that guy. And that's a lot of eggs in one basket, I might say.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, well, maybe pump the brakes until we hear a little bit more, and, maybe we never will.
Yeah. And hopefully, it's not like we see questionable fights all the time anyway. This is a rarity. But we don't see, oh, look, I'm sure if you study the tape, you'd be like, oh, look, this guy does that, but it's not, doesn't mean that they're giving the fight.
When everybody's going to start looking for every single piece of like late line movement. And like, sometimes that late line movement is one sharp that the books respect came in and dropped 10 G's, and like, that's it. Now it's not named Gummy. And now they don't want to, they don't want the liability out there. So they're trying to get action on the other side. So like, sometimes it's just that. The fact that there was such volume this time is obviously what flagged it. But if there was this much volume on other ones, it would have been flagged prior to, most likely.
And as for action inside the cage, MMA fighters fight dumb more often.
Well, and look, what's the most likely scenario to any of this is the same thing as Derek Minor, right? Did Derek Minor throw that fight? No, he didn't throw that fight. He just fought like severely handicapped and like
he wanted to get his paycheck, so
right. And who knows what was going on with Bulgarian? Like, could he have had a staph infection that he was hiding and on crazy antibiotics, so he barely made weight? Could have passed out that morning and not told anybody. Like there was a lot of reasons why he could perform badly. And hey, Yadir Del Valle is not a crappy fighter either. There's another piece too.
Yep, it's true. All right, hopefully
there's all of our no takes on the takes.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. It goes forever. That's what happened last time. You said, I'm not going to talk about this.
I'm not going to talk about this. And then I
talked about it extensively.
I've talked.
All right, before we have takes for this event. We're going to cover the prelims today as per usual. Reminder, college basketball tips off this week. I was just watching some last night, actually. Make sure to subscribe to the College Experience to catch their daily podcasts and download the SGPN app for free college basketball picks. And they preview every team and every conference. They have more episodes than we even have out. So that's College Experience for you. So check it out. All right. We lost a fight. So now we're at a even 12 fights this coming Saturday. Oh, it's a UFC Apex card. This one may be even worse than last week's card on paper. It's UFC Fight Night, Bonfim versus Brown, November the 8th, Saturday, 4 p.m. start time. 6 and 6 is the breakdown now. So today is all about the 6 prelim fights. Tomorrow will be all about the 6 main card fights. Once again, they have top female prospects. I guess one fighter is on her way down, but top female fight Barrett on the prelims on a crappy Apex card as per usual. I think the most interesting thing about the prelims is some of the lines. I don't know if there's any prospect I'm really excited about or anything like that, but there's some interesting lines here at the very least.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's pretty much like there's only one fight with like wide lines on the whole card, right? Truly wide lines. Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's dive into it with a middleweight fight to kick things off. Robert Valentin. He is from Switzerland. He's fighting Jackson McVey from the United States. 3 5-minute rounds, 185. We'll tell you about the moose first. That would be McVey. 6-1, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions, and he's been submitted once. That means he owes his rounds. 0-1 in the UFC. He got submitted in his last bout. He has fought at 200 pounds before, so up a weight class, I guess technically that would be. 2 inches taller than Valentin, 4 years younger. He got outstruck in his debut. I think it was short notice, was it not? Also, I believe against the Hulk.
No, because he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight a couple of weeks before that. I mean, like maybe that fight got thrown together last second. But he was supposed to fight a couple of weeks before that, and his opponent missed weight by about 1 billion pounds. Remember?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Ewert, and then they demoted him to contender series.
Yes. So McVey got outstruck in that debut by 0.83 strikes per minute. He's at plus 158. Rob Zilla, Valentin. 10-6 with 1 no contest, 3 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted once. 0-3 in the UFC, so he's on 3-fight losing streak. Before that, he had won 3 straight. He got TK out in his last bout. He went 2-0 in the Ultimate Fighter and then lost in the finals. He's a regional champ. Used to fight up at 205. Better striking and grappling stats, but that's based off of 1 fight for McVey. He's been outstruck in the UFC by 1.7 strikes per minute. He's at minus 145. And Gumby kicks things off as per usual.
Yeah, I'm going to go Robert Valentin. Overall, I'm not really impressed with Jackson McVey. Obviously the ground game didn't look sharp against Bruno Fajeda. And that's kind of like the allure of Jackson McVey is that he's like a long, lanky guy who like finds Darius chokes and gets submissions. But like, you know, even if you're out here being like, well, you know, his record looks really good before this, like go back and watch his last fight in LFA. Like he's fighting a dude who is, first of all, infinitely shorter than him.
Oh my God. I watched that fight just before we recorded.
Yeah, like he's fighting like a
different weight class.
Yeah, just like a tiny little dude. And that dude cracks him a couple of times, right? He just like ducks under the jab and throws a big right up over the top, and it lands on McVey. And now McVey is now up against the guy with the same reach as him, which is he's not used to dealing with. So already that's an alarm on the feet. Then, the other thing about that fight, if you watch the LFA fight, is he gets some grappling positions on the guy, but he's like so eager. And I think it comes from having had easy success before on the regional scene. It's that he's just like, oh, I'm touching him so I can have his back at any time I want. And he like jumps on the guy's back and is like this close to being shaken off a bunch of times. And like against somebody like Robert Valentin, who is like a very good grappler, like Robert Valentin like kind of made his way through the regional scene by being a dangerous grappler. Like you're not just going to like jump on his back without having like good connection and like actual hooks and things like that. So I think if he does try to do this here, I think Valentin probably subs him. And if he doesn't try to do that, like Valentin showed on Tough that like he's kind of dangerous with the hands too, if you give him a chance. And being that McVey has never fought anybody really that long, I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with him on the feet. So I like Valentin here.
Yeah, I'm going with Valentin as well. Grappling is probably the main reason. His grappling is better than McVey's, and he's fought better competition too over his career. He's more experienced. So,
and he arguably probably could have gotten that win against Therese Finney. I know he got taken down 20 times, but like Therese didn't really do anything, and he landed like a bunch of elbows to the side and things like that. So, he's there's a reason they're giving him his fourth shot at a first win.
Yeah. And he must know this is it. This is your chance, last chance. So you better get a win here for sure. All right, so we're both in on Valentin. Let's move down up the card, down the weight classes. Miles Johns versus Daniel Marcus, U.S. versus Peru, 135 pounds. That would be bantamweight. Chapo Johns is 15-4 with 1 no contest, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once, 6-4, 1 no contest in the UFC. He's dropped 2 straight. Before that, he won 2 straight. He used to fight at 145. Multiple drug test failures on his mantle. I don't know if they go on your mantle.
Aren't those Adderall though, or
one was and one wasn't? I think one was like Adderall, something like that, and the other one I think actually was something legit. Well, not legit.
Looks like real
performance enhancing, but Adderall is performance enhancing too, I'm sure. So anyhow, 1-0 on Contender Series, LFA champion. We have quite a few former LFA champs on this card. 2014 Pro MMA debut. A year younger than Marcos. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.39 strikes per minute plus 150. Sankora is Marcos' nickname, which means heart. 17-1 with 1 no contest, 8 knockouts. He's never been finished. 4-1 with 1 no contest in the UFC. He's won 2 of 3, but he did lose his last bout. I think Gumby picked against him, and I picked for him probably that bout. Did I not? Is that how it went down? You remember?
It was Montel Jackson. I remember that.
Yeah, maybe I picked Jackson too, because Jackson.
I actually think I hate to do this. I actually think you got that one right and I got it wrong.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that sounds more than likely, Gumby. More often than not, right? Just not this year. All right, where was I with Marcos? He won no Contender Series. That's pretty much everyone's resume going forward is going to be a Contender Series because that's the only way you get into the UFC. Regional champ. He's fed at 145. 2015 Pro MMA debut. An inch reach over Johns, more active landing strikes and better grappling than Johns. He's outstruck his opponents by 1.23 strike per minute, minus 170. All right, this time I'm going with Marcos after picking against him last fight. He's on a good roll. Losing Montel Jackson, I'm going to say, doesn't look as good now, but at the time, it still is. It's a quality loss. I don't really trust Miles Johns. I think we've already seen the best of him, and that was good. Not amazing, but good. I was going to say I like Marcus's grappling more, but I don't think these guys are probably not going to go to the ground. I like his power better on the feet. I like that. I think he's still got some upward trajectory in his career, and I don't think the same for John. So give me Marcos here.
Yeah, I think Johns probably would be smart to grapple in this fight. I think if he wants to win this fight, he should probably shoot 700 takedowns or something of that kin. But I don't think he will. And in addition to that, like I think if he does it, it'll probably be too late. And Marcos has got pretty good takedown defense. You know, if you remember that fight on Contender Series, like that was pretty much it. It was like sprawl and beat the heck out of the guy on the feet. That was against Let's Go, Brandon Lewis.
Let's go, Brandon. 85% takedown defense.
Yeah, so he's got a really nice takedown defense. And like, you know, basically the path to victory against Daniel Marcos is to like put a pace on him and with technical boxing, right? Like, you know, I know he only really lost to, you know, in his last fight to Montel Jackson, but he did kind of lose to Davey Grant. Davey Grant should have probably taken that victory from him too. But again, like same kind of loss, right? It would have been forward pressure, technical, sharp boxing, you know, going toe to toe for like points basically, because that's Daniel Marcos does, right? It's like he racks up the strikes and he puts on a pace and like forces you to work. And I don't know. Do you really think that Miles Johns can keep up with that? I don't. So I'm going to go Daniel Marcos as well.
All right. Excellent day. Locked up again with that pick. All right. We're going to get you some more plays. Obviously, we're not done yet. Got to remind you, we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their popularity is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out the UFC lines for this event over at MyBookie. And when you do head to MyBookie.ag, sign up with our code MMASGPN. That way you get 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So that's MyBookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And we're also brought to you by NoVig. That's NOVIG, all one word. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. NoVig, you're getting the best prices. They have reduced juice on bets. NoVig is available in 35 plus states. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with NoVig, promo code SGPN. All right, let's move on to a female fight. It's been we went through 2 fights without having a female fight yet. Finally, women's strawweight. Tecia Pennington, Nee Torres, Denise Gomes. They're fighting at strawweight 3 5-minute rounds. Tell you about Pennington first. She's still the tiny tornado. She hasn't grown. This is a short queen fight. We got 5-1 and 5-2 in this fight, so that's a classic short queen fight here. Tiny tornado 15-7, 1 knockout, 1 submission. Never been finished in a fight. She is durable. 11-7 in the UFC. She's won 2 straight. Before that, she had lost 2 straight, and she's gone 5-2 over her last 7. So still a successful fighter late in her career. 1-2 in the Ultimate Fighter. You don't usually see people with two losses on the Ultimate Fighter, but she pulled that off. 4-0 in Invicta, more active landing strikes than Gomes. She's outstruck her opponents by 1.3 strikes per minute in the UFC over a long career here, plus 165. D Gomes, excuse me, 11-3, 7 knockouts. She's been knocked out once, so she's pretty durable as well. 5-2 in the UFC. She's won 3 straight and 5-6. TKO win in her last bout. Has not lost since November 2023. 1-0 in Contender Series, 1-0 in Invicta. Used to fight at 125 and 135. An inch taller than Pennington, 3-inch reach advantage, 10 years younger. Better grappling stats than Pennington. She has outstruck her opponents with 1.55 strikes per minute, minus 175. Gumby.
Man, I really looked for a reason to pick Tecia Pennington here. And it feels really obvious to me, though, the way that this is going to play out. And it's Pennington is going to put a lot of strikes on her, probably outstrike her. And the memorable strikes are going to come from Denise Gomes. I could see this being a fight where like Pennington lands like close to 90, Denise Gomes lands in the low 70s, and she wins a split decision. Because like the judges are going to give her the damage nod. And like the other problem for me is just like, it feels like there's no other path to victory for Pennington other than more strikes, right? Like she's not going to knock her out. She's not going to shoot a takedown. She's not going to sub her. The path to victory for Tecia Pennington is just like, she's not going to throw harder, right? Denise Gomes throws so hard. It's like her only path to victory is just like, I have to throw enough strikes that people remember this, or be elusive enough from the big strikes coming back. And just like, it feels like there could be a round where Pennington could land 25, Gomes could land 10, and the judges would still nod Gomes just because of the sheer power of Denise Gomes. So like, as much as I like Pennington, you know, and I've enjoyed her career, she's kind of to the tail end of it in like a volume first approach at the tail end of your career. I don't know how good that works. So I'm going to go Denise Gomes here. I will say, if you're a true DGen out there, you like the fight goes to split decision, man. I bet you this. I mean, it just feels like it, doesn't it? Like this.
Yeah.
This is very much one is going to land more, one is going to land harder, and the judges are not going to see it the same way.
Yeah. No, very good point. I agree with everything Gumby says there. Gomes is the pick. Way younger, obviously, which is going to help with cardio, especially if this turns into a point.
Although I don't think you could top Tecia Pennington's cardio.
It's true.
Especially for somebody who's had a child. Like, that is insane cardio still.
I think that may be the secret recipe for people having kids, because that Mackenzie Dern didn't really get in amazing shape and become a champion until after she had her daughter. So maybe that is the secret.
Misha Tate came back pretty good too following
it's true.
Her kid and was in like kind of crazy cardio shape.
Very true. But yeah, Gomes, younger, bigger, more power. As Gumby said, her strikes are going to be more memorable for sure here. So give me Gomes here. Now we're going to the big boys, Gumby. Josh Hokit, Max Gimenis. You can call him Gimenis if you want, but if you want to pronounce it properly. We'll tell you about Gimenis first. 6-1, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. This is his debut in the UFC. He's won 4 straight fights, 2 straight via TKO. He last lost March 2023. He's a multi-time grappling champion. He's got an extensive grappling resume here. Not like tippy top grappling, not like ADCC or anything like that, but he still has quite a few championships. 30 pounds heavier than Hokit based off of their last fights that they had. He's at plus 340. The Incredible Hoke, former NFL practice squad player, is 6-0, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions. This is his debut. 1-0 contender series, 14 years younger than Gimenis. That may be an issue. Minus 340. Give me Hokit here. Gimenis is actually hard to find a lot of his MMA stuff, at least the quick searches that I did. Hokit, obviously, he's a finisher. He's a better athlete. He's way younger, which is going to matter at heavyweight with the cardio. Little concern that he does shoot a lot and goes for takedowns a lot against a grappling guy. I'm not sure if that's the best path to victory here, but he's fairly okay on the feet, I'll say. Not amazing. Not like one of your typical heavyweight hammer fist type of guy on the feet. On the ground he is, but not on the feet. But I think I'm going to go with Hokit. But Gumby probably knows more about Gimenis than I do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Gimenis is a nasty grappler. And I actually, so I'm going to go Gimenis here. I don't think Hokit's very good. I'm going to be really honest with you. Like, I think he only won his contender series fight because the guy he fought gassed.
That guy wasn't any good either, though.
No. I think anybody with any wrestling defense probably beats Hokit, and especially somebody with good jiu-jitsu. I think beats Hokit. And like, I want to stress that Gimenis doesn't just have like good jiu-jitsu. He has like unheard of in MMA jiu-jitsu for the most part. Like, for anybody who knows like famous Abu Dhabi Combat Club, like kind of submission specialist, like, do you know the name Orlando Sanchez?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like the big, huge bowling ball dude. He was like, 290 or something like that. In there with all the top guys. One in Abu Dhabi. Like he's the one who tried to break Sean Strickland's arm in that training video that Strickland gets all hot in. Which I mean, I probably should be more specific about.
Which one? Yeah, be more specific. Does he pull a gun on anyone?
He doesn't, I don't think. But anyway, Orlando Sanchez, like notorious bad dude in the Abu Dhabi world. This guy head and arm choked him and took him out in a fight. So like we're talking about a guy who's been in there with like Nicky Rod and like all the good grapplers.
Yeah.
And like held his own, like and in a lot of cases he held his own with his wrestling. And so for me, you got a guy whose pretty much only path to victory is to tire his opponent out and shoot 1 billion takedowns. Is he going to survive that with a jiu-jitsu wizard? Like, what happens if he gets underneath? You know what I mean? What happens if the wrestler gets put on his back for even 2 seconds in this fight? Is he going to freak out and give up his back? Like, I don't want any piece of that. And on the feet, personally, I think the striking is probably pretty equal from what I've seen from Gimenis. Like, yeah, he's not a world beater on the feet yet, but Hokit didn't look good in contender series either. He looked quite bad on the feet to the point where I thought Dana White was going to pass on him for that reason alone. And he didn't, and he brought him on and found a debuting fighter to put him against. But man, I would not want to have Hokit against a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist shooting 100 takedowns. The cardio, I think, is probably the only path to victory here for Hokit. And for me, I ain't playing somebody at 4-1 based on their cardio unless it's Merab Dvalishvili.
Yep. No, all makes sense. And obviously, big heavyweight dogs are worthy of a sprinkle here and there, especially if they have a path to victory, which sounds like he does. So I got Hokit. He has got Gimenis. All right, we got 2 more plays for you after I tell you about Underdog. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Gummy may have a play for you to put onto your entry right now.
Yeah, so Wednesday night, which you guys, if long you're getting this the day it drops, Wednesday night, we got the Pistons and the Jazz in the association. And I'm going to take Duncan Robinson. I'm going to take the higher than on his 3-pointers made. We got 2.5 listed. The guy's had 3 or 4 in like each of his last 5 games. And it seems like the Jazz don't want to win any basketball games that I've watched. Seems like they're looking for ways to lose. Yeah, they seem to be trying to lose, if I'm not mistaken. So I imagine Duncan Robinson will find another 3 here on Wednesday. So give me the higher than Duncan Robinson's 3-pointers.
All right, Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code, only our code, MMA SGPN. And Rhythm, RITHMM. Rhythm is crushing it in college football, NFL, and now just added the NBA. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Now, this is where I put Gumby on the spot again for a play for us.
Yeah, give me the Pistons laying the points against the team that doesn't try to win, the Utah Jazz. So, I mean, it's that simple, right? You don't want to win, you probably won't. Give me the Pistons.
It's true. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm, RITHMM. See if Gumby knows what you talk about. And that way you get, if you use our promo code SGPN25, you get 25% off. So RITHMM, SGPN25. All right, 2 more fights left here. We got a female and women's, same thing. Women's bantamweight fight. Mayra, Bueno, Silva, Brazil. Jacqueline, Cavalcanti. You want to say Brazil, but no, it's Portugal. 3 5-minute rounds, 135. We'll tell you about Bueno Silva first. Tara is 10-5-1 with 1 no contest, 1 knockout, 7 submissions. She's been knocked out herself once. I guess that makes her durable then. She's had enough fights. 5-5-1 with 1 no contest in the UFC. So she's got a little bit of everything on that resume. She's lost 3 straight fights. So the resume looked better before. Before that, she had gone 3-3 with 1 no contest over her previous 7. Used to fight at 125. Failed a drug test. Hers was one of those Ritalin ones too, I believe. 1-0 on Contender Series, 2015 Pro MMA debut. Better grappling stats than Cavalcanti. She's been outstruck in the UFC by 1.02 strikes per minute. She's at plus 215. The Nightmare Cavalcanti, 9-1 with 3 knockouts. Never been finished in a fight. 4-0 in the UFC. She's won 7 straight. She lost March 2022. A former LFA champ and a former regional champ. Used to fight at 125 and 155. 2 inches taller, 4-inch reach advantage over Bueno Silva. 6 years younger, better striking stats, and more active lightning strikes. And she's outstruck her UFC opponents by 2.41 strikes per minute, minus 250. So this is wide for this this fight card, a wide line. All right, Gumby.
Yeah, I originally was going to be in on Bueno Silva. I was like, she was like a title challenger. She was good. And then I was. And then I went back and I looked at her record and just like reminded myself how she got there. And it's like, what were we thinking? You know, like what? Like,
yep.
It's not impressive. Like her best win is a 2018 victory at flyweight against notorious strawweight Jillian Robertson. And like, that might be her best win in her whole career. Obviously take away the Holly Holm one that the commission took away for, like you said, the weird drug test. But it's like Stephanie Egger and like retiring Lena Landsberg and like pseudo retiring Holly Holm. And like the other thing that you could notice is like, she's not good at closing range, particularly. She when she throws strikes, she's kind of throwing them from where she is. She's going for the takedown. She's kind of obvious with it. And so like fighting somebody who's this much taller than her and this much longer than her and kind of likes the outfighting, kind of style, man, I think that's a nightmare for her. And the book kind of reflects it here, but I think this is Cavalcanti all day.
Definitely. Cavalcanti is the place. She's looked great since she's.
I mean, she's had like
UFC.
moments where she's looked kind of bad, but like
it's women's bantamweight, so we don't care.
Yeah, she's looked great for that.
Exactly. And Bueno Silva's really, she's fallen off a cliff. Like looks like she has no clue in fights now. It's really and her cardio's always seems to be an issue. Yeah, so it's she's not someone I can get behind for sure here. And Cavalcanti is, as I said, has looked good in fits and starts, which that and heavyweight, this weight class in heavyweight, it's all it takes. Just be good every once in a while. So Cavalcanti is our play here. All right, main event of the prelims is at featherweight. Jamall Emmers, Hyder Amil. Tell you about Pretty Boy Emmers, all one word. Of course, 21-8, 9 knockouts, 3 submissions. She's been knocked out 3 times. He has been, sorry, Jamall. You're a pretty boy. I should have known that. He knocked out 3 times, submitted twice. 4-4 in the UFC. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. He's consistently inconsistent here. TKO win in his last bout. He's missed weight twice before at this weight class. He lost in the Contender Series to who, Gumby?
It had to have been a super early one.
Yeah.
I know he lost his UFC debut to Giga, right? And that was that weird split that he probably won.
Yeah.
I don't remember who he fought in Contender Series.
Head kick and punches, 2018, Julian Arosa. So that's what he lost. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yep. Used to fight at 155, multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Finally got to say that. Correct. Gets our shirts. See, I don't even know what to say now. Get our shirts, get our merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. This shirt here, I didn't even remember I had. I found it in the closet. So yeah, get your SGPN stuff so you look super cool like me. 2012 Pro MMA debut for Emmers, 1 inch of height, 4 inches of reach over Amil. He's outstruck his opponents by 1.38 strikes per minute, plus 130. The Hurricane, Hyder Amil, 11-1, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once, 3-1 in the UFC. Got knocked out in his last bout. 1-0 Contender Series, 3-0 in Bellator. More active landing strikes than Emmers. He's outstruck his opponents by 2.66 strikes per minute, minus 115. I will finish off with the Hurricane, Hyder Amil. I still have a little bit of faith in him, despite him getting knocked out in his last bout. I think he's way better than Emmers, especially on the feet, way more dangerous. Can really crack and is a better striker all around. So give me Hyder Amil at a very nice price here.
I'm gonna go Jamall Emmers. I'm a little bit less sold on Hyder Amil than you are. And this is a short notice fight for him too. He's filling in.
Kind of, yeah. It's over a month, so that's why I didn't count.
So like it might not count for you, but like first of all, he absolutely starched in his last fight in a violent way, and is like maybe coming back kind of quick from that. It's like 3 or 4 months removed from being absolutely chinned in that fight really bad. And that fight only took like 30 seconds. And then you go back and you look at his run in the UFC. And I remember the same thing, thinking that like, hey, this guy might be something. He's 3-0. And like, a quick reminder, we're talking about win over Fernie Garcia, who I think had 100 fights in the UFC and still hasn't won one, right? Yeah, he's 0-4. And that was his 4th loss. Jiang Li, he beat. Again, maybe not so impressive. And the split decision over William Gomes. That's what we're looking at here.
That's all right. William Gomes is good.
Is William Gomes good?
He's all right. He's quality.
I guess he's all right.
Because he's French. You're going to badmouth him? Come on.
But like a split decision win over him's the only thing. And then the other thing is I don't necessarily love the takedown defense from Hyder Amil. And I know the numbers are high, but again, that's because he stuffed a bunch of takedowns from Jiang Li and Enra Sonmez, who's on Contender Series with him. Emmers is kind of a sneaky good grappler. Remember, this is a guy who like power doubled Pat Sabatini to kick off that fight. And granted, got subbed by Pat Sabatini, but like that dude's a nasty at jiu-jitsu. He went toe-to-toe striking with Giga Chikadze and like, stole some takedowns there. Like Emmers has just been in there with like really good guys. And like, granted, the results are still not showing up regularly, obviously, or very regularly, rather. It's win one, loss one, win
every
one,
other fight.
Yeah, but like he still has these performances that make you say like, man, there's something in there that I kind of trust about him. And I like the reach advantage too, especially being that he's going to be fighting a guy who relies on his pressure and like needs to get in your face in order to win. And I think he's going to have trouble doing that to Emmers. So yeah, I'm going to take Jamall Emmers here.
Okay, it's good. But we have to differ on summer. I don't have any hope of catching up. So that's good. Let's recap and then we'll get out here. I got Amil. He has Emmers. Both have Cavalcanti. I have Hokit. He has Gimenis. We both have Gomes. Both have a Marcos. We both have Valentin. All right, you're set for the first half of UFC Vegas 111. We'll be in the Discord. It's going to be set off the top. If you want to chat about anything, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Of course, the comment section is open on YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast, Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Reeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer, at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well for me. Check out my Substack. All my writing, all my stats that I refer to on this show, stuff like that is all tracked there. moneymma.substack.com. And of course, I have a free UFC pick'em contest going down for this here event. Gumby has a podcast called Top Turtle MMA. It may have a jinx on it. Who's to say? Who may be jinx this week, Gumby?
We're talking to Max Gimenis, who we talked about on this show. And then we're talking to Sean King, who is on Fury FC 111. I think that fight card's on Friday.
Yep. And we just covered that fight card 2 days ago. Tuesday. Yes. So make sure you check that out. Of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for some bonus content. We'll be back tomorrow. It shall be me, Jeff Zilla, Fox. What will your name be? Gumby Tara, Vreeland. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Adios.